अभी तो फिलहाल तो इंट्रो चल रहा है, तो थोड़ा टाइम है, 5-7 मिनट है, तब तक बातें कर लेते हैं। आप कमेंट कीजिए, देख लेते हैं क्या कुछ होने वाला है। तब तक देखते हैं आपकी एक्सपेक्टेशन क्या है, उसके ऊपर Xiaomi खरा उतरता नहीं उतरता वो आगे आने वाले टाइम में देखेंगे, अभी पता चल जाएगा। बट आप कमेंट कीजिए, आपको कुछ सवाल है मन में तो कमेंट डेफिनेटली कीजिए आप। सो बढ़िया रहेगा। यो व्हाट इज सब चालू हो गया।
Thank you. A big warm welcome to everyone who is watching us live. My name is Manu. I'm a Group VP with Xiaomi and I lead Xiaomi's business in India. Extremely happy to be here launching our brand new Redmi Note series. Now all our Mi fans, our Redmi Note series is something special. Every time we launch this product, we have a huge launch event with all of you guys. Last year we launched two Redmi Note series, Redmi Note 7 and 7 Pro, and then Redmi Note 8 and 8 Pro. And both these times we had more than 1,500 Mi fans in a huge auditorium. And this time we had planned something even bigger. We had thought that we will call more than 2,000 Mi fans, hundreds of media colleagues and partners for this incredible product launch. But unfortunately, given the kind of circumstances, we had to cancel the on-ground event. But I'm pretty sure that we will compensate today and we'll have the biggest ever online launch event for this new series. We are going to do something special. During this entire launch event, we will ask you guys 9 different questions. And for these 9 questions, you can win prizes worth 9 lakh rupees. You can win 9 plus 9, which is 18 smartphones. And more than 1,000 Mi fans can win these prizes. And not just this, you have the full day today to answer these questions. Thank you. So, be ready, get prepared. You can go on Mi Community, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you want. And you can post these answers and thousands of Mi fans will win prizes today. So let's start with what is happening at Xiaomi. Of course, you guys know, Xiaomi is now the #1 smartphone brand for 10 consecutive quarters. We became the largest brand in Q3 2017. Until last quarter, which was Q4 2019, we were the #1 brand for 2.5 years. But last quarter, something special happened. We were not only the #1 smartphone brand, but we also became the #1 phone brand. Now, what does this mean? This means that for the first time in India, there's a smartphone brand which is Xiaomi, which has sold more number of phones than smartphones and feature phones combined of any other brand in the country. And this is truly historical. If you look at the entire year 2019, as per the IDC report, Xiaomi sold or shipped more than 40 million devices, which is, to be precise, 43 million units in the calendar year 2019. For the entire year, we had a market share of about 28.6%. Samsung had 20.3%. Vivo at about 15%, Oppo at about 11%. This means Xiaomi was about 40% bigger than the second biggest brand, which is Samsung, almost 2x bigger than the third biggest brand, which is Vivo, and almost 3x bigger than the fourth largest brand, which is Oppo. And even though we are so big, we ship more than 40 million units, which is 10 million units every single quarter, still we managed to grow. We grew almost 16% year on year if you compare Q4 2018 versus Q4 2019. Now, this growth number, you should also look at the base effect, because our base is already so huge. We are selling more than 10 million units every single quarter. Still managing to grow at 16% year on year is truly incredible. If you look at Xiaomi, we have multiple brands across the world. And there are 2 brands under which we have been selling products for a long time, which is Mi and Redmi. Historically, you have seen a lot of products from Redmi coming to India. But this year we announced we will also focus a lot more on Mi brand. What is unique about 2020 is that you will see both these brands operating fairly independently in the year 2020, which means we will have independent portfolio and we will have independent teams on for both sales and marketing for Mi and Redmi. So what does Redmi stand for? And I'm sure all of you guys already know this answer because we've been selling a lot of Redmi phones in India over the last 5 years. The first thing that Redmi phones stand for is, of course, they have the best possible specs. Second, they have the highest quality standards. And third, of course, they have honest price. We try and cut down all possible costs and pass on that benefit to our users, and that's what we call as honest price. So what has Redmi achieved over the last 5 years? Actually a lot. A significant part of our portfolio has been Redmi brand, has been Redmi phones, and we have been selling millions of these devices every single month. In fact, you'll be surprised to know that till now, we have sold more than 100 million Redmi devices in India. Please note, these are not Xiaomi, these are just Redmi devices under the Redmi brand. And today, we are here to talk about a new Redmi phone, which is a new Redmi Note series. So you have seen, we have had global debut of several Redmi Note devices in India. We launched Redmi Note 3 first in India, Redmi Note 5 Pro first in India, Redmi Note 7 Pro first in India, and today we will have another global debut. And we are calling this device as Redmi Note 9 Pro Max.
Yo, Max, जब मैंने सोचा था वही हो रहा है.
Yes.
काफी अच्छी बात है.
And this series really stands for two things: Pro camera and Max performance. And I'm sure all of you guys will really love it. And that's why the hashtag that we're using is Pro Camera Max Performance. Not just this, we are using multiple other hashtags today. The ones that we're using are Redmi Note 9 Pro, Redmi Note 9 Pro Max, and I love Redmi Note. So if you're tweeting, if you're posting on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere, do not forget to use all of these hashtags. Now remember, I spoke about 9 questions that we will ask. For every question, we will give out 2 brand new Redmi Note devices, and we will also give out thousands of other gifts. So let me start by asking the first question to all our Mi fans who are watching us live. The question number 1 is probably the simplest question. I'm sure all of you guys know this. The question is very simple. Please answer -- is India's #1 phone brand. Do not forget to use all these hashtags that we spoke about. And 2 of our lucky Mi fans will get a chance to win 2 brand new Redmi Note devices. So what are these brand new Redmi Note devices? Starting with Redmi Note 9 Pro Max. To talk more about this, let me call on stage the man himself, Chief Marketing Officer of Xiaomi India, Sir Anuj Sharma.
Thank you, Manu. Hi guys, and all the Mi fans. We would have loved to have you guys here, but this, I'm sure, is going to be equally exciting. I'm Anuj, and as Manu mentioned, I lead marketing at Xiaomi India. And it's my privilege to introduce to you the global debut of the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max. But the fun has to continue. Before I get to the Pro Max, I have another question for you. So the second question, which Manu mentioned, and I want you to answer with total number of Redmi devices sold in India is more than dash. You guys all know the answers.
100 million.
Write that answer down, tweet, go on Facebook, wherever you are participating in this contest with these hashtags. And of course, you guys are going to win big. So with that, let me get into the Pro Max. Excited? Of course you are. Now the Pro Max has 3 fundamental pillars. You have Aura design. You've got a Pro camera and Max performance. And the first part that we are all super excited to show you is Aura design. Now, if we go back just about a couple of years, the Redmi Notes had a very functional design. These worked beautifully. However, they were not as good looking as the Note 7 Pro. With the introduction of the Note 7 Pro and Aura design, the entire industry changed. And of course, the Aura design was loved so much by our Mi fans that we've continued to evolve to multiple devices. Now, all these devices had different variations of Aura design, even the K20 Pro with Aura Prime. However, it's the Pro Max. So what are we going to do here? We are stepping it up a whole notch. It is 2020, and we are going to give you the Aura Balance design. Now, here is what the Aura Balance design is going to mean to you. Now, what you've got with the Aura Balance design is you've got impeccable craftsmanship, you've got an immersive experience, and of course, what has always stood true to the Redmi Note series, you've got a very functional design. And of course, all of you guys are eager to see this, so let me get straight to the impeccable craftsmanship. Now, this is, going back internally to our inside story. When we were looking at a new Pro Max, it's a new extension. It's a whole new Redmi Note, which has been the best seller in the country. We wanted to design something that is truly out of the segment. It should look like a flagship device, and that's, I think, what we've exactly been able to achieve with the Pro Max. You guys want to see what the Pro Max looks like?
Yep.
Of course.
Yo.
Now, this is just one part of it, but as you can see, the amazing symmetrical design that you get with the all-new
ये कुछ
Aura
नया किया
Balance.
है, मतलब हटके किया तो
Of
अच्छी
course,
बात है.
if you have a line right through the center, it's perfectly matched, right? Not just at the back, but even the front. And we'll get to that in a bit. But while we are at this, the back design has a 3D curved glass body. It
हाँ,
fits
ये
in
थोड़ा सा
perfectly
नया है.
to give you an incredible hand feel.
But ये Redmi Note 8 Pro में
Let's
भी
move
तो
on to
कोई
the
बड़ी
next
बात
one,
नहीं है इसमें.
immersive experience. Of course, with the Aura design, immersive experience was one of the key pillars. Today, we are taking this immersive experience to the next level. Back in 2019, we introduced the dot notch display. Today, we are getting rid of the notch altogether. We have
Punch
moved
hole.
on to a dot display.
You. तालियां हो जाए, कमेंट बॉक्स में भी तालियां होनी चाहिए.
Now this is important because the camera is moving in display, and it's also the largest display that we've ever put on a Redmi Note. The Redmi Note 7 was a 6.3 inch. The Redmi Note 8 Pro, we took it up to a 6.5 inch. And on the Pro Max, we have the largest display that we've ever put on a Redmi device at 6.67 inches.
6.53 इंच से 6.67 इंच कर दिया, काफी अच्छी बात है.
And this would also give you an idea why
खैर वो
it's
डॉट
being
नॉट
called
डॉट नॉट
Max.
हट गई तो
All the Mi fans who've been with us for years would clearly remember the Mi Max series. The Mi Max series was this amazing large display experience that you guys got. Now the Mi Max series was a 6.44 inch display. Compare that to the Pro Max that we're launching today, and that 6.44 is dwarfed by this massive 6.67 inch display. But this is also a much smaller footprint, which means at a size which is much smaller than the Mi Max, you've got a larger display, a better hand feel, easy to carry around. Of course, when we're looking at this, let's also compare with the Note 8 Pro. Compared to the Note 8 Pro, while retaining the same width. So when you hold it in your hand, it fits in beautifully there as well, because the width is almost the same while we've increased the overall screen size. How has that happened? We've gone in for a taller cinematic display. This one features a 20:9 cinematic screen, which looks absolutely gorgeous. And that is a very immersive screen for any content that you might be viewing on the Pro Max. But when we're talking about immersiveness, we can't just leave it on the AV part. Now we are doing something that has not been done in the mid-range segment till date. We are getting you flagship haptic experience. What does that mean? Now most phones have a rotary vibration motor in the phone. We are replacing that with a Z-axis vibration motor.
ये क्या होता है?
This Z-axis vibration motor directly interacts with the screen. It's in the same plane, and as you use it for multiple functions, it's giving you very precise haptic feedback. How precise do you ask? Well, we've matched it to more than 150 actions. While you're typing or scrolling or deleting stuff, it has a very different response system, and you know exactly what you're doing on the display. It's a whole new experience that we are bringing in for the Redmi Note Pro Max for the very, very first time. Moving on to the last part of Aura design, which is obviously the functional design. Now this with the Pro Max. In fact, the Pro Max still has that awesome 3.5mm jack. But what we are also retaining is the much loved IR blaster. The curved back is also Gorilla Glass 5, and the glass over that beautiful camera array is also Corning's Gorilla Glass 5. It's incredible and is protected. It looks gorgeous. But it is Aura balance, so we have to balance one more element here, and that is the fingerprint sensor. Now what we've done is we've moved the problem is when you've got the fingerprint sensor either at the back or the front versus the side mounted fingerprint sensor, you have certain compromises. When you're looking at those compromises, what are those? Let's do a test, a usability test in terms of where these fingerprint sensors are. Now when it's at the back, it is fast because this is normally a physical fingerprint sensor, can unlock in 300 milliseconds, but when it's on your desk, you need to pick it up, tap, and put it back on. In the in-display fingerprint sensors, unless you're talking about super expensive devices using the latest expensive tech, these fingerprint sensors are slow. Well, with the Pro Max and the side fingerprint sensor, you get the best of both worlds. You get the speed of a physical fingerprint sensor and the positioning that you don't really have to compromise whether you're on the go or whether you're using it on your desk. So that's the Aura design that you saw. But you must be asking, how does it exactly look like? I mean, I've seen a part of it, but show me the full phone. Well, let's get into the colors. Now, from a colors perspective, we've got amazing colors. It is the whole color science that's been evolving for the last 1 year. And I think one of the results, which looks spectacular, is the Aurora Blue. Now, Aurora Blue is, thank you. Now this fundamentally looks very different, and as you can see, it's somewhere a mix of the blue that everyone loved on the Note 7 Pro and that hint of green coming in that people loved on the Note 8 Pro. It's a mix of both in a way, and it looks absolutely stunning. But if you're looking for a really gorgeous color, well, I've got the Glacier White. However, now the blues aside and the whites aside, my personal favorite, and I'm sure you guys are absolutely going to love this, and all the people who love classic colors, we've got the Interstellar Black. And when I'm saying it looks really good, I'm not kidding. Let me show you the device itself. Thank you, Kabir. Now this looks absolutely stunning. I don't know, can we have the camera look in this? Interstellar Black on the Note 9 Pro Max. I think I'm just going to keep this phone with me. It's mine. Now, so to sum it up, you've got 3 incredible colors. You've got the Aurora Blue, you've got the Glacier White, and you've got the Interstellar Black. And that comes to the third question, or less a question, more of an opinion. You've seen those 3 colors. Hopefully you guys remember it, because it's super important now. Now, the third question you need to answer with, my favorite color of the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max is, put the color name, and of course, use these hashtags, and maybe get a chance to win a Pro Max in that color itself. Right? So choose wisely. Maybe if your color is not liked by too many other people, you might have a chance to win that too. You have a higher chance to win that. So that is the Aura design. All overall, a really, really good looking device. It does not look like it belongs in this segment at all. It doesn't feel like it belongs in this segment at all. What you've got is a triple Corning Gorilla Glass 5 setup. You've got in-display cameras, of course the functionality of a headphone jack, IR blaster, a side-mounted fingerprint sensor, all being there. You've got an amazing symmetrical layout and a 20:9 cinematic display, which is amazingly gorgeous and immersive. And that brings me to the next part, which I'm sure you guys are excited about, the Pro cameras. Now, Pro cameras, as you would have guessed, of course, we've got 4 cameras at the back. Now, what are these 4 cameras? You've got a 64 megapixel primary camera. You've got an 8 megapixel wide angle camera, so you can capture a lot more. And the third one, which I'm personally really, really excited about, a 5 megapixel macro camera. So when you go close and you see a lot more, it's world changing. And of course, we know right from the Redmi Note 5 Pro onwards, you guys have loved portrait shots. You get another depth sensor to get those portrait shots. And we'll talk about the portraiture soon. What you get with all of these 4 is a flagship level camera experience. Let me show you what it can do. So the 64 megapixel primary camera gives you stunning results. I'll show you a couple of images shot on the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max. Ready? Now this shot is absolutely gorgeous. But the reason why we took this is not just because of the amazing colors, but the detailing that we wanted you to see. Right from each of these windows to the grass and the shrubbery that's in front of it, the dynamic range that you are able to see with on a very, very bright day, including parts which are really dark, it's able to capture all of this. But of course, this is a 64 megapixel camera, which means the actual image is a lot bigger. This actually is a frame-worthy shot. Right? We can easily frame this, and because it's 64, you can print it huge. Right? So it's probably like one wall gone, but it looks really, really good. But you'll be asking, how does it compare with others? Now, we've done that too. So what we did, as you would have seen Manu mention,